Hey, on YouTube, welcome back to a new video with Rams fan YT. In today's video, we'll be looking at my predictions for the upcoming 21-22 National League season. Let's go straight into it with 23rd, and I've gone with Solihull Moors. Starting off radical, I know. The manager is fine, it's not that. The squad is also decent. I think it's just a bit of complacency has been sneaking into the squad, and I think they'll be in for a shock this season, which all teams have, whether it's they ride the storm or not, really. 22nd, I'll go with Bromley. I really am going to get some stick this time, aren't I? This one, though, is more logical. They only have 14 players, so they'll be hoping not for an injury crisis, which I foresee is happening. Andy Woodman is inexperienced as well, only having a brief spell with White Hawk, and that won't work out very well in the long run. 21st, Dover Athletic. If they don't get liquidated, then they will be relegated regardless, as they have a 12-point deduction. In a sticky situation of not having any money, but needing it to bring more players in. They have enough players to form a starting 11, could get some points on the board. Even the manager's experience, though, is too large of a gap, though, for them to be saved from the impending doom. We just look at what Sheffield Wednesday had to deal with last season with their points deduction, and it's just insurmountable. 12 points. They only had 6. So, yeah. 20th, FC Halifax Town. They do have a good squad, don't get me wrong, but the league this upcoming season is extremely competitive, with 2 great teams getting relegated from League 2, along with several other big teams still in the league. This will result in teams which are normally mid-table pushing for playoffs, like Halifax, struggling to get players. Pete Wild is a good manager, though, but when the struggle starts, will he have the right mentality to get them away from danger? I reckon not. And Halifax will finish with a different manager by the end of the season, but just survive by 2 points. 19th, Barnet. They were meant to be relegated last season, but they are still a good side, I believe. New manager Harry Kewell is very good, having lots of experience in League 2 at low-end teams who need to survive, and has managed to keep most of them up. I still think that the squad needs desperate improvement, but signings so far have been decent and positive. 18th, gone for Southend United. I'll mention later Grimsby, and it's a very similar reason to them. As being relegated doesn't necessarily mean you'll go straight back up, as seen by the case of over the last few seasons. A lot of League 2 clubs are still stuck in the National League from the past. Phil Brown, in my opinion, is past it, being shown by them getting relegated. Southend are inexperienced at this level and will struggle really badly, with many probably not wanting to stick around in non-league, and they will therefore struggle to get players in, or the right players in anyhow. 17th, I've gone with Torquay United. This is an unpopular prediction, I can already tell. Gary Johnson does have experience, but he does travel a lot, and after 2 to 3 seasons, he tends to move on, and I think that will happen here again. But that isn't really the problem. You just need to look at the squad. There's only 13 players, and there hasn't been much in terms of incomings. Defence is a concern, as is an attacking threat, and I think they'll flop tremendously this season. But they'll stay away from relegation threat just about. 16th, I'm going to go with Notts County. I can already feel the hatred coming from Nottingham here. But that negativity should be directed to your club for being in this bad position. Ian Birchnell is not used to this country in terms of management, and that will lead them to mid-table. Just look at his match versus the 7th tier team, Hornchurch, in the FA Vars, I want to say, where they lost. They only have 16 players, and many have been loyal to the club, but I think they will start moving away if they see that the club has stagnated in the National League. 15th, I've gone with Weymouth. Brian Stock is a decent manager, but it still isn't that great, to be fair, and he'll improve the side, but I don't think massively. They have a squad of 14, which isn't that good if they have any aspirations to finish above mid-table. But I think they've had a bit of experience now in the league, so I think that will provide them enough to stay in the mid-table picture. 14th, I've got Grimsby Town. It's always a slippery slope getting relegated, and teams rarely bounce back at the first time of asking. Well, in the case of the National League, it seems to take a great many years to even do so. They won't be relegated, but I think they will be struggling in their first season in the league since 2016. Although they do have Paul Hurst, who is a very good manager, and if he does stick around, they could be promoted again very soon. That's why I've not put them lower than 14th. I think Paul Hurst has got a good enough CV to get them into mid-table. 13th, I'm going to go with Kings Lynn Town. The next stage for them is to reach mid-table. Ian Culverhouse has done wonders with the Linnets, gaining back-to-back promotion with them, and this team will go from strength to strength. They have a good squad depth, and they'll be comfortably at mid-table with preparations for the playoffs in the next couple of seasons, I imagine. 12th, I'm going to go with Altonsham. They have a good squad depth that will play in their favour. And Parkinson did well with Nantwich, to be fair. He took them to the playoffs and semi-finals of the FA Trophy. And that seems to have translated into Altonsham with playoffs and then promotion from the National League North. So yeah, we'll put them in mid-table. 11th, Eastleigh. Can't have too many complaints with this one. There were only 2 points for me last season, and Ben Strevens is fairly experienced at Eastleigh, so maybe that they could have a playoff push, but they've only got a moderate squad size, so I don't think they'll really reach the playoffs. 10th, Chesterfield. See if I can predict them to correct 2 times in a row. James Rowe is one of the best managers at this level, and he should probably be a League 2 manager with how well he organises the defence. So yet again, a playoff push. They've already made some good signings, and I think they'll fall only 4 points short, let's say. 9th, Yeovil Town. Still can't believe how far they have fallen, but a playoff challenge this season. Darren Sarrell is a very good manager, actually, who knows how to give a good talking to those who aren't performing and can bring through some young players. Only 15 players, though. This will mean they'll fall just shy of the playoffs. 8th, I've gone with Wealdstone. Seems like I have a soft spot for this club then for my past predictions. They are bringing in some good players in with the likes of Reece Brown, who is an Antigua and Barbuda international player, and Andrew Aleftiorio, who, I don't know if that's that, who has played in the Premier League, albeit only once. 7th, I'm going to go with Maidenhead United. They're a club on the rise under the much experienced Alan Devonshire. His biggest success was with Hampton and Richmond Borough, and left them in safe hands. And just look at where they are now compared to when he took over. They're from a Tier 8 club to a Tier 6 club. I think Maidenhead do need a few more signings, including a goalkeeper, but the playoffs, though, is within their grasp. But I think they won't win that well. I think they'll fall off at the quarter-final stage. 6th, I'll go with Woking. I still hold out my faith that Alan Dawson is a good manager. With the much needed squad depth and lots of newcomings, they'll do well enough to reach the playoffs this time. They will also bow out of the quarterfinals, though, due to the inexperience of that competition. 5th, I'll go with Stockport County. They always reach the playoffs, and why not do so again? I don't necessarily agree with Simon Rusk being the manager, but it could work out. They have good players, enough good players anyhow, including Wayne Rooney's younger brother, John Rooney, and they will reach the semi-finals, but not get beyond that. 4th, I'll go with Dagenham and Redbridge. They will get promoted via the playoffs. I remember when they were in the Football League, and I still think they have a good enough mentality to reach the playoffs. Daryl McMahon has League 2 experience with Macclesfield, and there's enough evidence that the club is pointing in an upwards direction from 18th to 12th. He has also reached the playoffs with Ebbsfleet, so why not do so again? 3rd, I'm going to go with Wrexham. What a coup that they have got the other and better Phil Parkinson, who has done so well in League One and League Two by winning the playoffs with Bradford City and reaching the League Cup final in 2013 with the same club. They'll reach the semi-finals but eventually lose out to winners Dagenham and Redbridge. Although under their new ownership, I can only see them improving. Second, I've gone with Boreham Wood, a team which I think are usually in the playoffs, correct me if I'm wrong, and they have a great squad with a Barbados international, and Luke Garrard has now got a lot of experience with Boreham Wood and will do well despite being young. They'll finish as runners-up in the playoffs ultimately. First, I'll go with Aldershot Town. There's so many good players, so they'll win the league. To name a few, there's Ross McCormack, who incredible experience, even in the Championship. Libyan international Mohamed Betema, and St Kitts and Nevis international Harry Panayotu. The manager isn't great, but he is a fan favourite, and that positivity will carry them on to the title. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you're new around here. That would be hugely appreciated. I'm not actually doing History Club on Thursday this week. I said a mistake in the last video. That'll be the week after. But I will on Sunday do my League 2 predictions. So it's goodbye for now. And come on, England. It's coming home.